Hello everyone, welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max and we are starting inside today because it's a bit windy, so I'm going to show the outside of the car later. We have a very special Golf GTI today because in light of the 40-year anniversary of the GTI, Volkswagen have made this special edition called the CLUBSPORT. And they used to make special editions called edition 20, 25, 30 and 35, but for some reason 40 was no option. So the CLUBSPORT. We are going to start just in drive and we are going to select comfort mode, and I will tell you some stuff about this car and what they have done to make this so special, because it is a special car. So the Golf GTI starts. So this Golf GTI CLUBSPORT basically started out as a Golf GTI with performance pack, so 230 horsepower. But you get the limited slip differential from the performance pack and the brakes. But then they changed the engine, so this is a Golf R 2-liter TFSI with 265 horsepower and 350 newton meters of torque. But it does have an overboost function, so for 10 seconds it will deliver 290 horsepower and 380 newton meters. It then needs 10 seconds to cool off, and then you can use it for 10 seconds again. So I think in the real world you would be able to use that all the time. Okay, so let's switch to sport for the gearbox, the DSG 6 gearbox we have, and we will use the driving mode selector to go to sport as well, which does change a lot. I can show you. Because when we go to individual, change, so these are the things that change. You can adapt and will change with the different driving modes. So the steering feel and stuff, the aircon differential, the engine, climate control, the engine sound in the interior. So it's quite a lot. So sport, and you get some DSG farts as well from the exhaust. And we can select this cool graphic stuff. So we have a kilowatt meter, pressure meter and a G meter. So continue with the CLUBSPORT stuff. We have an altered XDS Plus differential in the front. So this car has front wheel drive, but it is a very cool setup, which means that only when you really start pushing the front, you get some tire squeal and you get some traction control stuff. But it's actually very good and very capable differential. So some other stuff you get with the CLUBSPORT pack is this Alcantara steering wheel, bigger exhaust tips. I think it's a different exhaust because it's a bit louder. I think you get these seats as well, and you get some stuff on the outside, and the extra power, of course, as I said before. Which make this car seriously quick, and it will do 5.9 seconds to 100 kph with this DSG box. You can also get a manual which will do 6.3 seconds to 100 kph if you are fast enough. And that overboost function I was just telling you about is only from 3rd gear, but if you select the DSG box, it will also work on launch control. So you will have 290 horsepower and 380 newton meters when you use launch control. They also reworked the chassis, so it's a bit firmer. And it actually feels quite nimble and light. So, here's a nice spot for me to show you some stuff on the outside. If the wind is okay here. So, let's take a look outside, because I think it looks really, really cool. I think they've done a great job to make this look special, because it really, really does. We have a very cool silver color. Normally you would say it's a bit boring, but because you have all those black and red accents, it looks really cool. We have different wheels which are forged and are 3 kilograms lighter than the standard wheels. We have that cool sticker over there with CLUBSPORT. These lights are darker, I think, so more like the Golf R. We have this spoiler which is a bit upright, so I think that looks really, really cool. As I said, the bigger exhaust tips. We have some aero which is new, so this black thing with that little winglet and the diffuser, that's new. The side skirt goes all the way from the front to the back, that's new. And the front bumper is revised as well. And I don't know if you can see, but I'll get on the floor. Over there you can look through the bumper, and that has been done so the air flows through here and comes out here, which makes for better aerodynamics, they say. So I think they've done a great job, because I think the standard GTI looks a bit too common. And you can also get some bucket seats if you want. This doesn't have those, but they are an option. So, driving wise, I mean, it's a quick car and it's really nimble, but the gearbox is a bit distant, and I think it's just not that exciting. I mean, it feels a bit like a PlayStation car, and it feels a bit detached from the driver. So maybe a manual gearbox would solve part of that problem, but it's just not that exciting. And you know, the Golf GTI is a very, very good car to start with, and they've just made it a bit better on every level when it comes to the driving. And maybe on a track this car would be very exciting to throw around, but on the road I'm just not really feeling it, and that's a shame, because I think it looks really, really cool. So you can also get a CLUBSPORT S Golf GTI, which removes the rear seat and it firms up, I believe. You may have seen it on Top Gear a few weeks ago when they drove it around the Nürburgring with Sabine Schmitz and Rory Reid, which I thought was one of the most ridiculous things on Top Gear ever, where they were overtaking GT3 RS's and stuff and were saying, oh, this Golf is faster around the Nürburgring than a GT3 RS. Really? I thought it was ridiculous, but you can get that one as well, the CLUBSPORT S, if you want even more hardcore stuff. actually think the sound in here, it's amplified through the speakers, but I think it sounds pretty good. I just don't really like that DSG fart coming out of the exhaust, which is just the same every time. It never changes. So that also makes this car feel a bit like a PlayStation thing. It's not really engaging. Oh, clutch was disengaged for a second. It's not really engaging. It's not really engaging to drive, and I thought when they came with this car, you know, the hardcore version of the Golf GTI, I thought finally now we are getting a proper GTI with a proper exhaust that sounds mean and loud. But it's, I feel it's a bit of a letdown, honestly. But you know, it's very capable, so if you just want a cool hot hatch you can use every day and you can also use on the track, this would be a good choice. I'm not saying it's not a good car, but I would have liked it to be a little more exciting, because it is really fast and it handles really well, but you just don't feel it. Like this corner, I can brake really late, and you have to really be an oaf to get the front wheels to squeal, because it has just so much grip. You just floor it and the differential figures it out. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a cool car, but it's just not as exciting as I hoped or expected it to be. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates on our filming stuff. And we will see you at the next one. Bye guys.